All right. Welcome back, everyone, to another deep dive. And today we are going to be looking at something pretty important. Uh, I think it's relevant to everyone, really, and that is the power of a positive mindset.
Hmm.
Like when you get stuck or you're trying to get something done or facing some kind of challenge or you just need an extra push to get to your goals.
Right.
So this is for you. And here's the kicker. The source material is a podcast for kids.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's a podcast episode aimed at children. But it actually offers some surprisingly useful advice for adults, too.
It's funny how that happens, isn't it? Finding wisdom in the most unexpected places.
It is. It's true. Like, we don't always have to, read super dense books to learn something valuable.
Right.
Sometimes the simplest things can teach us a lot.
Right.
And that's what this podcast is all about. I mean, we're talking practical tips. A really cool story about this boy named Alex and his painting and, how this all relates to confidence and resilience.
I like it.
Yeah. And one thing that really stood out to me in this podcast is the idea of believing in yourself.
Okay.
It sounds so simple, right? But it's something we often forget as adults.
Yeah.
We get caught up in all the complexities of life.
Yeah, that's true.
We forget that at the core of everything is this belief in ourselves. And that's really what a positive mindset is all about. It's about focusing on the good, the bright side, believing in yourself, and using language that empowers you rather than holds you back.
I think a lot of people struggle with that, using that positive self-talk.
It's a skill for sure.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And what's fascinating is that the benefits of this mindset, they're not just some feel-good thing,
Yeah.
There's actual science behind this. There's research showing that a positive outlook can actually change your brain, literally rewire it for the better.
Wow.
It can make you more resilient, help you solve problems better, and even improve your physical health.
That's incredible. So, like, if I'm dreading that Monday morning meeting with my boss
Yeah.
and I go in there with a positive mindset, it could actually change the outcome.
It could, because you're approaching it with a different energy. You're more open to solutions. You're not as stressed. And that can have a ripple effect on everyone involved.
So it's not just about feeling good. It's about equipping ourselves
Yeah,
to handle whatever comes our way.
exactly. And I love how the podcast actually gives you some tools to help build that positive mindset.
Yeah. Yeah, they had some good ones.
Like positive self-talk. We talked about that, viewing mistakes as opportunities to learn, practicing gratitude.
Oh, yeah. I talked about helping others, too.
Right. Helping others, exactly. And even something as simple as taking deep breaths when things get tough.
What do you think is the most helpful out of all of those?
Honestly, they're all valuable, and they each have a basis in psychology. Like, take positive self-talk, for example. That's a form of cognitive reframing,
Yeah.
which basically means choosing to see things in a more positive, helpful light.
Like, instead of saying, oh, I messed up,
Yeah.
you say, okay, what can I learn from this?
Exactly. You're shifting your perspective from dwelling on the negative to focusing on what you can control and how you can grow from the experience.
I like that. And what about the deep breathing thing? Is that really something people use to, like, deal with stress?
Oh, absolutely. Deep breathing is a mindfulness technique, and it can be super powerful. It helps you focus on the present moment and calms your nervous system.
So if I'm, like, totally freaking out about a deadline,
Yeah.
I should just stop and take a few deep breaths.
It can make a world of difference, because when you're stressed, you're breathing shallowly, your heart's racing.
Right.
By taking those deep breaths, you're signaling to your body that it's okay to relax. It helps you regain control of your emotions.
It's like hitting the reset button.
Exactly.
I like that. Okay, so the podcast tells this really great story about this boy named Alex who loves to paint, but he makes this mistake on his artwork and he feels like giving up.
I remember that story.
But then he remembers what his teacher told him. Mistakes help us grow. And instead of getting all upset about it, he actually uses the mistake to create something totally new, and his painting ends up even better than he imagined.
That's such a powerful message, and it's a perfect example of what we call a growth mindset.
What is growth mindset?
It's the belief that our abilities aren't fixed. We're not born with a certain set of skills and that's it.
Yeah.
It's the understanding that we can always learn and grow, and that our experiences, even the tough ones, are opportunities to develop and become better.
So it's not about being perfect. It's about embracing the journey and learning along the way.
Exactly. And a growth mindset empowers us to see challenges as opportunities rather than threats. So instead of getting discouraged by setbacks, we see them as stepping stones to something greater.
I love that. So for our listeners out there, what does this all mean for you? A positive mindset isn't about pretending everything is perfect or ignoring the challenges.
Right.
It's about how you approach those challenges.
Right.
It's about facing them with confidence, with resilience, with the belief that you can learn and grow from anything. So think about a goal you're working towards, or maybe something you've been putting off, because it seems too hard.
Right.
How could a positive mindset help you get there? How could it help you overcome those obstacles and achieve what you want?
And that leads me to a question for you, our listener.
Okay.
What's one area of your life where adopting a more positive perspective could make a real difference?
That's a good question.
Think back to Alex and his painting. You know, how can you apply these principles, positive self-talk, learning from mistakes, practicing gratitude to your own unique situation?
And that's it for this deep dive, folks. Hopefully you've learned something valuable today about the power of a positive mindset.
Yeah.
And remember, even a children's podcast can teach us adults a thing or two.
Definitely. Never underestimate the power of simple wisdom.
Exactly. Until next time, everyone stay curious and stay positive.
Take care.